Have you ever heard of a hero the world overlooked? Someone underestimated because of a simple trait, only to turn that very weakness into the key to victory. Today we uncover the epic Bible story of Ehud, a left-handed Israelite who became an unlikely hero, delivering his people from decades of oppression. In a time when Israel had strayed far from God, their nation suffered under the harsh rule of the Moabites. For 18 long years, King Eglon and his forces crushed the Israelites, forcing them into relentless labor. Their hopes faded, their spirits were broken, and freedom seemed like a distant dream. But God was listening. Amidst despair, God raised up Ehud, a humble man from the tribe of Benjamin. There was one thing about him that made others doubt him. He was left-handed, a trait often seen as strange, even untrustworthy in those days. But God's plan was bigger than human judgment. What people called a weakness, God would turn into a weapon. Ehud knew the task ahead was dangerous. He would have to confront King Eglon, the ruthless ruler of Moab, and strike a decisive blow that could change Israel's fate forever. He prayed, he planned, and he waited for the perfect moment. That moment came when Ehud heard that a Moabite delegation was visiting their king. He was to deliver a message from God directly to Eglon. Concealed beneath his robe was a sword, carefully hidden on his right thigh, perfectly placed for a left-handed man. Every detail mattered. Every step was a risk. As Ehud entered the palace, the air was thick with tension. The guards were alert, the corridors heavy with luxury and intimidation, but no one suspected a thing. Ehud's left-handedness, once seen as a disadvantage, gave him the edge he needed. Finally, Ehud stood before King Eglon, the powerful tyrant seated upon his throne. The king, confident in his security, welcomed Ehud to speak in private. And then, in a swift, decisive moment, Ehud struck. King Eglon fell, dead. It was a bold, daring move, one that would change history, but the challenge didn't end there. Ehud still had to escape from a palace crawling with guards, alive and unnoticed. Outside, the guards waited, expecting the king to emerge. Minutes passed. Nothing. Panic spread. When they finally entered the chamber, they found Eglon motionless. Ehud had vanished. He fled to the hills of Ephraim, leaving the Moabites confused and terrified. With Ehud back among his people, the Israelites rallied. He spoke to them with courage and authority. "The Lord has given our enemies into our hands." Inspired, the Israelites mobilized. They blocked the Jordan River, trapping the Moabite army. What followed was a fierce battle, but the Israelites, filled with courage and faith, fought like never before. By the end, 10,000 Moabite soldiers were defeated and Israel was free. For 80 years, peace reigned, a testament to God's plan and Ehud's courage. God answers the cries of the repentant. Israel had fallen into sin, but their prayers were heard. When we return to God with a sincere heart, His mercy is always waiting. God works through the unexpected. Ehud's left-handedness was once seen as a flaw, but God used it to His advantage. In our lives, what we perceive as weaknesses or obstacles can become the tools God uses to fulfill His plan. Faith requires courage. Ehud acted boldly, trusting God even when the risk was life itself. True faith often calls us to step into uncertainty, knowing God equips us to overcome every obstacle. But peace never lasts forever. After Ehud, Israel slipped back into sin and faced new oppressors. And this time, it wasn't a man, but a courageous woman who would rise to deliver the nation. In our next video, we'll explore the incredible story of Deborah, the prophetess and judge who led Israel to victory. If you thought Ehud was brave, wait until you see what God did through Deborah. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next epic Bible story.